London and North Eastern Railway, the old line through to Oxford, from Bletchley to Oxford itself, and then beyond Bletchley it went on towards Bedford, onto Sandy and Cambridge, commonly known as the Varsity line.
Right.
We're currently at Swanbourne station, which is the only last surviving station on the entire line in terms of its originality, in terms of station house and building and platforms. Been well maintained. The line's been ruffled for probably around about 25 years, and what we see today is basically the old track left, and they've recently cleared it away for regeneration, like in about 2 years' time, when the overhead lines will be put in and all this will change forever.
And what they're going to end up doing with the old station building?
Well, this
here,
the old station booking office here, like, which is the original London and Midland colours,
right?
of cream and red.
That isn't it?
See fade away. This has got to be demolished, because this is, in terms of current health and safety standards, too near to the line. So like, this will be eventually demolished. The original station house will probably survive, because it's deemed like sufficiently far enough back by literally a couple of feet. In this section we're looking forward, and that goes on towards Winslow,
Right.
and Verney Junction, and then onwards towards Oxford. It was all overgrown up until about 2 years ago, like, but it's track clearance crews came through and chopped all the trees down. But it's nature's starting to take hold again, so they'll have to come back. New additions that have added on. Cleared all the what they call a cesspit, where all the water runs down the sides.
Okay.
So we're going to head off towards Bletchley, which is probably about 4 or 5 miles on in the distance. I want to see what remains today and record it before it all disappears. It used to run from Aylesbury through via Calvert Junction.
Right.
A train from Bletchley to Aylesbury. The diesel units used to come from Aylesbury to Bletchley just to refuel.
Right.
So there was no refuelling depot at Aylesbury. So they used to travel this line quite a bit. What we got here, like on the right hand side, this is a mile marker post number 5.
Okay.
Basically, like, means like that between here and Bletchley is 5 miles away. It's just beyond here, like what they call Swanbourne sidings. They set up for 660 wagons during World War II. They're heavily used coming up to D-Day, where they stored like tanks and everything away from the main line until like possible attack by aircraft. Again, that's telegraph wires. Our old supports from telegraph wires.
Right.
On the tops of those metal stubs you would have had like insulators. Like telegraph wires would have ran down through that, and they would have gummed from signal box to signal box. Bridges are normally numbered. You can see this bridge is quite bad. Like the cracks.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, this bridge will definitely be demolished.
Oh yeah, because you can see the chalk. Well, they've obviously marked it out.
Yeah, that came down. That was probably like the engineers who went through it.
So they've done a survey and yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So this bridge will definitely come down.
It's a shame. But I suppose yeah, it is, isn't it? It's quite badly. It's in pretty bad condition.
But again, like, you know, they cleared all this. What you see here
It was all gone.
this was all cleared away when the track crews came through.
Even up to where the overgrowth is and all
Yeah,
that.
all the way through down to as far as the Calvert, it's clear. But again, like, nature's coming back. Yeah, basically, like, this is where the track ends.
Right.
In terms of where it's coming up from Winslow.
Yeah.
Beyond here, like, you can see, like, it's just track bed really. There's possibly sections beyond it, like, where we find bits like this. But normally, like, we would just be walking like on track bed itself, really, minus the track.
Is there a reason why they would have ended it here?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like as if it's been cut.
Yeah.
There are holes down there. But yeah, it's been severed here. For some reason, I don't know why, rails have gone. Rails would have been joining there. Whether it's been stolen or not, we don't really know. What we've got here basically like the remains of what the permanent way gangs would have used. It's called a gravel box.
Right.
And they would have had piles of gravel in there where they like to pack out the track if it needed repacking or that. It's an old remnant really from the days of steam, and they don't really get used nowadays. And they're hard to come by now, except like when you're on old lines like this. They're just an interesting line side facility like which you don't really see nowadays.
No.
It's amazing what you find like in the middle of nowhere, literally. It's a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, I wonder who's dumped that.
Have a look at it. They've got old BR ones, they've got a thing on the side, but this doesn't appear to be.
Not a British Railway, this one. Ooh.
Oh, it's still gas in it, look.
Was.
Amazing.
Looks like it's been in a fire, going by the black on it.
Does, yeah.
Oh well.
Looks like sort of would have used to have on the old trains, but I don't know, it's got, normally would have been a sticker on it, but it's got nothing on it. Okay, what you got here basically is just trackside drain. They normally have like a grill over it. You can see the concrete surround of it. Ready for the unwary, like it walks along, so you've got to be careful when you explore old railway lines, what these sorts of things you come across. It's coming up to this aqueduct, this water aqueduct. It's quite old. This is like riveted together. Okay, I'm not too sure of its actual origins.
Yeah.
It's an open aqueduct, and it carried water like from one side of the line to the other. This is either a retaining wall, or it's getting near the locations of them sidings.
It's these sidings, what are they from, you think? They're from World War II?
II, yeah.
World War II, okay.
Yeah. This looks to be more really a retaining wall.
Yeah.
Keep the bank back as opposed to a platform.
Especially by the type of brick they've used.
Yeah, and it's at an angle as well. So it's again, this is a gravel box. It's a slightly different sort. Where they call it, it's an elevated gravel box. You can see by the legs underneath, and it canted backwards. So you could heap up the gravel like into the side, and it would like flow back.
Yeah. What we got here then?
These are maybe old abandoned railway sleepers, basically.
Oh, okay.
These would have been heaved up like from when they were probably renewing the track. Really.
So they've been here quite a while.
Yeah. Looking at some of the metal trees. A British Rail, London Midland, which this line was took over by the London Midland.
Right, okay.
Coming up on the road bridge, hopefully we might find a number on the side. Just before it, like, you can just see concrete line side permanent way hut, which the gangers would have used for keeping their tools and what have you in, or like brewing their breakfast or whatever. It's not a permanent way hut, it's the remains of a fogman's hut. And basically it would have been a signal round here, like where someone would have gone during the fog and they would have put detonators on the line in the old days of steam. And he would have just sat in there and just put them out like when the signals were, say, warn the drivers of the signal be a danger or wherever. It's nice to see one actually. It's the first time I've seen one actually intact. Relatively. So it's pretty unique. So go and have a look inside. It looks more like a toilet, but it's not. All it basically was just to give him some sort of protection from the elements, and there was just basically a wooden seat that would have been across here. Corrugated roof. You can see it's just made out of pre-pressed concrete, held together by like brackets. We've got something up here. Oh yeah, some graffiti up here. 1962, so it would have probably been from the frogman who was there. I'm trying to make out what it says in. Can't make that quite out. It's got dates anyway. We're never here. What does it do? 1962.
Forging, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, like it's a remains of a track at a road bridge.
Right.
You just passed the fogman's hut. We've got hidden in there is an electrical box for the track.
Oh yeah.
And again, this is just a section of track which continues on. It sort of breaks up in between as we're walking. We're still yet to find the sidings to Swanbourne. They weren't actually in Swanbourne, they were actually more near Mersley, which is a little bit further on, but we'll come across those in due course. Okay, while we just looking around this bridge, just found a little secret room up on the side here, so we'll just go up and see what's in there. Oh, well, hollowed out bridge.
Okay. So what do you think this could have been?
Well, normally they would have stored stuff in there from the permanent way. What you see on the floor here, these are gaskets which would go under shoes on the track.
Right.
And they would go between the wooden rails and the metal to stop it really sort of to make it firm base. So. We're at the 4 mile marker post now, so it's 4 miles to Bletchley. It looks like to be the old made of concrete post down there. The original ones were made out of concrete, from concrete posts. The new ones, which the one is up here, that's made of fiberglass boarding. Okay, we're at the bridge now, and as you can see, it's precast concrete. It's suffering quite badly, so again, this will probably be demolished at some later stage. You can just see down the centre where it's been smoothed off, where the steam probably from the smoke in the engines used to come under it. We're going to have a look at this because it's probably quite rare in terms of concrete. Must be one of the most concrete bridges I've ever seen. And there's that little design up top. I wonder whoever came up with that. Just to put it on such a little backcountry bridge. It's actually called a skew bridge simply because it's not straight. You can actually see it goes at a skew angle. So these are known as skew bridges. Precast concrete, probably pretty rare. You can still see the wooden shuttering which they used to form the concrete in the mould. It's interesting on the top of the bridge, and we can see the original road layout, which was of course cobbled, which is been exposed. So it's been around for quite a while, this bridge. We're sorry to see it go. And you can see someone put a design in there for the pavement that ran over the top. That gives you a good view of where the track alignment was. It's trackside level crossing basically, filled with railway sleepers up to track level. You can't really work out why it was here, but obviously
it's no road.
Not a road level crossing, so it must have been possibly to the siding, don't know. Still yet to come across them really, and it may well be up ahead, so could be something to do with it. Okay, we're at Swanbourne sidings here. We're at the crossover point where we can see by the track work, which is still embedded in the ground, where the actual point crossing was. You just see ahead of you there's a longer sleeper than normal, and this is where the dividing line from the left side here traverses over into what was the original up and down line, so you would have been able to go from one to the other. So around here is where the sidings were for World War II. And hopefully we'll find some remains of where the signal box was. The signal box survived up until about 1980 when they sort of disconnected the crossing and that. And it was a World War II concrete signal box, so hopefully we'll be able to find it somewhere. This is the site of Swanbourne sidings signal box. There's numerous bits of debris like in the undergrowth here. You can see again here it's the Accrington Norrie bricks which were used. So this is the signal box itself, the base of it, and the rest of it's been strewn along the sides. We've now come to the end of the line after walking about 4 miles from Swanbourne. As you can see up ahead, our way is finally barred. Beyond that fence is the live section of the branch line, which goes on up to Bletchley. So that is the end of our tour of the section between Swanbourne and bridge number 6 on the Varsity line.